literally just slapped some jelly on a bagel. So excuse, I had to make breakfast for my child. Sorry.
No, you are totally fine. If anyone we're not quite, I don't know if we're live yet or not. I'm trying.
We are. I see it.
So anyone who's watched us at all, fully aware that you and I are both single moms, business owners, lawyers, and baddies. So,
all the above.
Welcome everyone to another exciting episode of Signature Blog.
We need a theme song or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's Crystal.
In bonding with Crystal. She got here early. So our guest today is like, and by the way, Bree, Crystal and I get along very well, so you better watch out.
Oh, I'm not threatened. That's why she got invited on the show. It's because, you know, she's pretty dope. She's pretty fire. So
I am.
Fire. So I'm going to introduce everyone to Crystal. She has what I would consider the best headshot I have ever seen. I just love
beautiful.
It isn't it? It's gorgeous. First of all, I see it. I'm like, she is beautiful. Holy crap.
Shout out to the
photographer. She is fierce.
Yeah.
She knows herself. And I literally thought to myself, this is the kind of lawyer, when I see this kind of headshot, I can hire her and know that even if opposing counsel calls her some ugly name or something stupid like that, she is not going to care. She does not look like she cares.
She's not going to cry. She's not going to cry about it.
Exactly. She's not going to lose my case behind some feelings or something. And I love that. So welcome to our show, Crystal.
Thank you, ladies. I definitely appreciate the invite. And I got to just kind of shout out to Corey Sebastian, who did those fierce headshots. He is the photo photographer. He does everything. He is the guy. So if y'all ever need headshots, this is my cheap plug. Go see Corey.
I love it.
I love it too. He did a great job.
He did.
So before we started, Crystal, you were telling me that you are in Tarrant County in Fort Worth.
I am.
Okay, so tell us about that. Let me ask you first. I just saw you lean back and I see Crystal Gayden for judge.
Yes.
So
yes.
Okay. So talk to me about that.
Okay, so I am a practicing attorney in Fort Worth, Tarrant County. I do family law, and you know that comes with the stigma of it all. And we talked about that. You know, family law is what it is, and so I've been doing that now going on about 11 years. And so I have now decided I want to take my career to the next level and sit as a family law judge. So Crystal Gayden is running for family law judge in Tarrant County.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm so excited. So I personally have a nemesis judge, and I want to run against her so that I don't have to practice in her courtroom.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm that level.
Good goals.
Okay? I'm that level petty. Hey, I'm doing my clients a favor. If I can't go in that courtroom, things are going to happen for my clients because nothing happens in that courtroom. Okay. So help me understand what the process is like.
Yes. What does that look like?
So tell us how does all that work?
So I am not a scholar to this. Okay. You could have asked me 10 years ago how to run a practice, and I would have told you I have no earthly idea. Now, a decade later, girl, I can tell you how to make it happen. This whole judging and campaigning and all that other stuff is very new territory to me. Okay. So
hold on, time out. I don't believe for a minute that judging people is new territory for you. I'm sorry.
I mean, you kind of do that when they come see you, right?
Okay. Because I'm an expert judge at this point. All right.
The campaigning part of it, having to rebrand yourself, and getting people to find confidence in you as a judge. Like for 10 years, people have found confidence in me as being their attorney. Like I'm the go-to. I'm going to walk into this court, and like you said, I don't care what they say. I'm going to do my job. And now that's different. You know, that's different. And so now just out there trying to build the name, get some recognition out there, show my face. And so it's trial and error at this particular point. I don't know what works, what doesn't work, but That's what we are as people, right? We especially as and single mothers, like, you know, if this doesn't work, what do? You don't just give up, you just go in a different direction. So that's what I'm doing. Just trying to get out there early. I mean, my election wouldn't even be until March of 2022. But
oh wow, okay.
There's a lot of steam with what Stacey Abrams done. There's a lot of steam seeing our first African American vice president. And I'm trying to just get on that train. We need some diversity in Tarrant County. We need some people that look like me. And so we need people to want to walk into the courtroom and feel like the person that's going to make decisions over their family understands the dynamics of their family. So here I am.
So what made you, what happened to make you decide that I'm going to go from being an attorney to running for this position? Like, did something occur? What was that mind process for you?
Well, my mom says that it was something I talked about as a kid. Okay. Who'd have thought, you know? But more so, again, in the county that I practice in, there's a lot of diversity in the constituents and the individuals that come through those courtrooms, okay? Unfortunately, there's just not a lot of diversity on the bench for whatever reason that is. And so if we're in 2021 and we're trying to extend an olive branch that we all are equal, why not us all look equally across the board?
I like that.
And so who best to run for that position than the bald-headed, African-American, bold lip wearing Crystal Gayden? Why not?
Child, you got my vote.
Yes.
Bald-headed once. I shaved my head when I was 17. And I wore bold lipstick the whole time because I felt like, for me, like from behind I look like a boy, but if you turn around and you see that bold lipstick, I know what
you're dealing with. You know who you ran across. Listen. Now, do you wear these bold lipsticks in court? Because I will say this, I am a bold lipstick wearer. And like, if it, according to what my outfit says, is what goes on my lips that day. And I will wear a bright red, purple, deep purple. I do all of that. And of course, you get some looks, but do y'all wear it in court? Or is it just-
I wear it in court. Here's the thing. Sometimes it's intimidating. I mean, I may not even have a good case, but the fact that I walked in fiercely enough it works sometimes to my client advantage. But at the same time, what I do is who I am.
That is it.
I don't want to fit into this mold of what people believe attorneys are. Okay. I am my own brand. And so nude lipstick, I mean, it just depends on how I feel. I may want to rock nude lipstick, but for the most part, this is where you would see me on how you'd see me on a Saturday.
Yeah.
How you gonna see me Monday through Friday. I am who I am. You're gonna get what you get.
That's it. And I like that. And that's why you are such a good fit for this show, is because that's exactly how me and Lauren are. We are who we are. Like, this is what you get. Now, I will say this. When I'm in a suit, and I'm rocking whatever, because I'm also known to be rocking some red, patent leather pumps too. Like, let's not get it twisted, right? But you may not see, this may be who you get on Saturday. And then it might go down a little bit on Sunday.
Because on Saturday, it's a sports bra and some yoga pants.
Yeah, you may get the ball cap and the J's.
Yes.
But
I had somebody tell me, that's funny you said that, Crystal. I had somebody when I first started tell me, when I first started as a lawyer, so March will make 5 years since I opened my practice. He told me, a Black man, he said, I don't know, because I was wearing, I wear J's. I wear J's, I wear Air Maxes, I do all that, right? And he said, I don't know that I would want an attorney who wears J's. I don't know that I would hire an attorney who wears J's. And I was like, for real? Like, I was like, but
lucky for him, there's tons of attorneys
that you can choose from.
Find what you
but
want,
this is a friend of mine. And he was like, I don't know that I would ever want to hire somebody. Like that's too much. You too down for me. I don't know if I would. And I was like, man, I'm gonna do what I do. And you just may not be the client for me, but somebody will be. And that's just what that is,
I gotta say, personally, I used to wear lipstick before we had to wear masks, and then now I switched back to like bright eyeshadow because I always have the mask on. But personally, part of the joy in beating people in the courtroom for me is like when I look really feminine. Like I almost only wear skirts. It is a rare occasion to see me wear pants to work. And part of that is like in my mind, part of my toolkit is my femininity, and that can throw a male opponent off. And that is what I'm doing. That's part of my job, right? Is to use every tool I can to get that other party, to win for my client. Absolutely. And so if that means, for me, that means I wear skirts, I wear whatever color lipstick I want. One day I wore a red suit jacket in a court, and my intern, she was like, "Oh, you're wearing a red suit?" And I was like, yes. First of all, it's Dallas County. We have purple haired judges. Okay. Yeah. Secondly, last time I checked, red was a color. And thirdly, I look fabulous. So
and that's the most important part.
Right. Exactly. And I feel more confident.
You're looking good. Absolutely.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. So I love that, wearing the lipstick into, especially Crystal, you're in more conservative court.
Absolutely.
Yes. So I love that.
Absolutely. And, when you know that that's what your atmosphere is, your environment is, your work, where you work, a lot of times people get drowned out in that. And my practice has survived because it's Crystal Gayden. You're going to get the Crystal Gayden show from beginning to end. And whether it's intense, a lot of stuff in Dallas, it ain't going to change when I cross from 30 to 30. It's not going to change. You're going to get Crystal Gayden.
Listen, and Crystal, so we have never met in person.
We have not.
So
no.
We are best friends already, in case you just wasn't aware of it.
Oh, sorry, Breed. She's actually...
No, no, she's my best friend. And so, I love that because, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I love that because you are who you are, and it's hard. I'm gonna be honest with you. In this field, it's hard to find other individuals who also practice law, who also embrace that mentality. And a lot of times you feel like you're out here by yourself because you just roll and you're just doing whatever you feel like you're gonna do, and that's it. And I'm not gonna fit into this mold that everybody thinks a lawyer should fit into. I'm just gonna do me, and that's, it is what it is. It's hard to find other attorneys like that. It really is.
It's hard to find other humans like that. Like, I think just generally speaking, people don't approach the world that way. And I think, Crystal, I don't know if you're single or committed or what, but I think for me, at least when I was dating, that made dating really hard because I approach the world as I'm Lauren Cadillac. I love me. Here I am. And when I date, I'm like, hey, I'm Lauren. Here's the list of the top 10 things that I do poorly. And then the rest of me is awesome. So like, here's all my bad qualities. And can you tolerate that? And some people don't even know what their negative qualities are, let alone have an organized, punctuated list.
Well, yeah. So I am single, and you try to find a balance between being a boss and trying to date. And that is difficult. Like, in my 9 to 5, it's not going to be too much you can tell me I can't do, right?
Yeah, right.
Dating, you almost have to fall back a little bit. And so that's a whole nother segment for a whole nother
day. That is a whole nother segment.
I don't feel like it's almost have to fall back. Like, I'm dating someone who I would say is like my peer career-wise and whatever. I still have to purposely fall back at times. Remember, like, he's saying these things because he loves me, not necessarily because I have to go do them. He's not necessarily telling me what to do. I have to remind myself, right? Like, that's my fallback because I don't like it when people tell me what to do. I'm the boss.
No, I don't like no. So, but the falling back is a learned behavior. And sometimes you have to put on that that delicateness and not be so bossy, or you just find a guy that can deal with
it. Yeah.
That's what it is. And those men do exist, I think. I think my son, he's only 16, but someday, because he was raised by me, he'll be one of those men that really likes strong women, I think, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah.
Crystal, do you have children?
I do. I have 2 boys, y'all, and I couldn't imagine having a girl, but they kind of bring out the best in me because yeah, this all is cute and all. Like it took me like 45 minutes to make up my face for y'all today.
It's nice.
Thank you. But I can go to the football field. We can shoot some hoops. We can play Fortnite. Like I love being a boy mom. It is great. It is great. Yeah, yeah. They are 19 and I just had a 10-year. He just made 10 on Wednesday. And so we're having a big birthday party for him this weekend with a game truck, all those boy things, you know.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
Yeah. My son did one of those. I remember it. That's how cool it was. The game truck. And it was like at least 6 years ago when he was 10-ish, right? But it was so freaking cool that I still remember that it was cool. So that is awesome.
I'm probably more excited for this birthday than probably he is. Like bring the game truck home.
I love it. I love it.
Damn.
So, is your 19-year-old like in college or what's he doing?
No, he's not. He's just kind of exploring the world, you know how they do, which is that's what the adults do, right? They explore.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Especially at 19. That's when you explore the world.
Right.
Lauren, Aaron asks, who's the boss? I guess that's your relationship. Who's the boss?
Yeah.
Am I? Oh,
he knows. No, Lauren.
We already know. Why would we gotta talk about things like that? We already know.
He knows. And then yeah, so Crystal, that's so awesome. Now, is your 19-year-old, is he at home still or is he out in the world?
Out in the world.
Doing his thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So the only one at home is the 10-year-old at this point.
And he's probably like the only child. And they're 10 years apart. So they kind of grew up like they were the only child. They didn't share in a lot of things because they were always at different stages in life. And so 10-year-olds getting the best of mommy's attention right now.
Sure, I'm sure.
So my 16-year-old, because my son is 16 and my daughter is 8, and my 16-year-old says that my daughter got the better mom because I don't really discipline her very much. And I'm like, no. You got the mom with the energy and all like time.
Right.
About what was going on in your life and all that kind of stuff. She got the mom who's a full-time lawyer, who's almost 40, who's freaking tired. Okay. So let me tell you something. In my opinion, you got the better version of me, you know, as a child. But really, they did get 2 different moms. I mean, yeah. And I assume yours too, Crystal, because you said you've been practicing for 11 years, which means you went to law school as a single mom also.
I sure did. And that oldest child was right there with me in torts. He was right there with me in contracts. Yep. He was right there with me with writing and assessment, all of that. And so, yeah, he got to see the growth of his mom. And got to experience that. And a lot of times he does say that the youngest is the more spoiled, but the oldest got the home cooked meals. Now mom just like peanut butter and jelly sandwich for the 10-year-old. Because 10-hour days. And dealing with all of these people's ups and downs and their emotions. So yeah, but he also, mom's home a lot more too. So
yeah.
Different genres, different eras in mom's life.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I think it was for me, I see having gone to law school with my son as a really a gift to him, because he knows how much freaking hard work it takes to get where I am now.
Absolutely.
Further, he's going to know all that takes work. I don't know that my daughter, who's like, I've always been a lawyer, I don't think she is as consciously aware of like the progression I made in my timeline.
Right.
And so I think when she goes into her adulthood, her expectations and things will be different than with my son. I think my son will probably be a little less disappointed about the fact you have to work your booty off. A little less surprised, you know? And I think my daughter's gonna be like, wait, I thought I just went to college and then I got money.
Right. I think my daughter's gonna be where your daughter is. Because she just thinks it just like grows on trees and it just, you know, I just magically became a lawyer and she offers my money and things to everybody. And so yeah, I'm like, no, that's not how none of this works.
No, there was a time when mom couldn't afford the game truck. And so you weren't even part of that world at that time.
That growth. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
So Crystal, do you now maybe I missed it. Do you own your own firm now?
I do. I'm in private practice. And since the day that they handed me my law degree, I've been in private practice.
Okay. And how's that been for you growing it to where it's at right now?
Oh my God. There were many times where I was like, let me just go to the AG's office. There was many times I was like, let me just go apply, because law school does not prepare you for the business aspect of operating a practice. I mean, even it's the theory of law. Like, no one tells you how to go in there and prepare a temporary order and present a temporary order. Like, you don't get that in law.
Or how to e-file?
Or that there's a motion and an order. Like, you got to do.
Right. So, you're trying to build a practice, the financial aspect of that, the marketing aspect of that, and then you're also trying to practice law.
Yeah.
Most of us are either married, we have children, we have other obligations. And so it was up and down. It was very emotional. It took a while till I got to the point where I was like, okay, I can do this. Okay, we ain't gonna file bankruptcy. Like, we're gonna get through this. And
we're not gonna live under this bridge.
We're not. And I mean, honestly, there were many times where I'm just like, I made the wrong. Who told me to go open up my law practice? Like, all these law firms are hiring associates. Why am I not in line? That just wasn't. It just wasn't for me. And so once you can get past that, then I tell you what, I would dare not go anywhere else other than where I am at this point.
I love it. Okay, so both of y'all have been in practice way longer than I have. What I would pose this question to both of you. Everybody always says that special, that magical 5-year mark, right? How long? Huh?
I was going to ask her about the 5-year mark too, because it's my magical. I saw other people. So I haven't been, Crystal or Bree, I started practicing solo on my own in 2016. So it's
me too. Okay.
Same. I wasted my life working for AT&T, like 5 years of my life, right? And so it was fine. I got a bunch of good health insurance. But then I started so this is my 5th year also.
Okay.
And when I first started, something I noticed is that it seemed to me after the 5-year mark, all the attorneys that were on their own practice, and Crystal, you can tell me if this was your experience. This is exactly the same question I was going to ask, is that it seemed like after they hit that 5-year mark, then it kind of got it got easier for them. It was more like stable, steady, like, yeah, this is my career. This is what I do. Bills get paid.
Gucci belts get bought. I mean,
I don't. So what do you think, Crystal?
Maybe it was for everybody else. And I'm gonna be the one to tell you, I don't know what happened at the 5-year mark. I'm at the 10-year, 11-year mark, and in private practice, you are your brand. And then also, let's think about it. With COVID, people wasn't trying to get divorced. Like, I mean, you have to really decide: am I gonna pay my light bill, or am I gonna try to divorce people? And so you in anything that you do,
or will he get COVID and die, and then I get the life insurance?
Right. And we just gonna wait it out. And then they can go see a probate attorney at that particular point. But
that would be my plan.
Ups and downs in the private practice. Does it get to a point where it's stable? Yes. Does it get to the point where you realize what season you're in? Because there are always seasons where, it's good, it's feast and famine. And then there are seasons where, we might have to shut and so I think maybe at the 5-year mark, you have realized you've gone through enough seasons to where you now know how to propose.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's still up and down, but you've created a plan. So when it's down, it don't feel as bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I will say at my 5-year mark, now I'm more aware, like, okay, now I know, like you said, my seasons. I know my seasons, and I'm like, okay. And so now I'm better prepared for that season.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel the same way, except I'm only in my 4th year of actually like tracking numbers. Like 2017 was my first full year of like number tracking, so to speak. And And I see these patterns. They're so interesting too. I try to like figure out why. Like for some reason in my line, I make no money in January and February. Just everyone's gone. There's no money. Even though December is the #1 death month, I'm not, I don't understand any of the patterns really. Well, some of them I do, but most of them I don't. What about you guys? Do you have like 2 months where you're just like, I don't know why no one is here, but what months are there? What are is it like Christmas?
After Halloween, during the holiday season, you're going to see a decline in divorces. I don't know what it is. Either they just want to spend the money on a family, they want to reconcile because it's holiday season, you know, and so that's when I take my vacation, you know.
So for that, no, and that's so for me, for what I've seen in family law, it's like, and I think it's, so you're saying Halloween, they're
Right
gearing
after
up for
Halloween.
Christmas, it seems like to me. I think they're gearing up, they're saving their money for Christmas presents.
Correct.
On a retainer. And
or they're doing that one last pitch. Let's see if we can reconcile, you know. And then New Year's.
yeah, the last Christmas, together. And that's what it is for me too, for family law. It's November and December is really, really slow. And then entertainment, it is about the same. It's about the same for entertainment as well. November and December. Yeah, record labels just don't do anything for whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my experience in corporate America at AT&T was that pretty much like the day after Halloween. Well, it was usually it was like 3 days before Thanksgiving. Pretty much everyone just disappeared and nobody worked at all for the rest of the month. So I took all my paid time off in the middle of the year when everyone was at work. So I was getting like actual time off, right? But most people, because at least in large corporations, you accumulate so much PTO over time, like you have 6 weeks or whatever, and then you got to use it. And then you're like, oh crap, it's November. I'll use it now. So I can see that. I mean, there's patterns and fluctuations. I don't know why no one does any real estate business in January and February. It's not like it's even cold here. Like if we were in a Minnesota or something, I think I would understand it, because you can't, if you're a builder or something, you can't break ground when it's like icy and snowy. So fine, okay, nobody's doing real estate in January, February. We're in Texas. I just don't understand what it is, but oh well.
Well,
you guys,
February and March is the best season for me.
I was just gonna say, I imagine tax season, y'all are getting off the hook, like, okay, I'm done with him now.
And in the beginning of my practice, I looked forward to tax season. You know, people getting their income taxes. But here's the thing with that money's only gonna go so far, you know. And so it is those who sat down, New Year's resolution, new me, I gotta let it go. And so that's where that first quarter of the year is probably the busiest for a family law attorney. And then it'll probably pick up around summertime when you're summertime custody issues with families.
Possession and access, and that's summer months. Crystal, do you only do family law?
Now I only do family law, yes. But when I first went out there, it was nothing I would not do.
Okay.
Of course, when you get to that 5-year mark, you're like, okay, I can do this, I can do that. I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna do that. And so at the 5-year mark, I think I was still doing criminal and family. And probably about 3 years ago, I set aside the criminal and just solely focus on family now.
Family, that's awesome.
Do you have any associates, or what? Do you have any employees?
Yes, we have 3 employees. We don't have an associate right now. And so another plug, anybody looking for an associate position at the law offices of Crystal Gayden, we are looking for a full-time associate. But no, I have staff. And that was another piece when I first started. You trying to do it all. I was answering the phones, I was sending the faxes, I was setting the hearings, and growth requires you to bring on people to assist you. And that was a big piece for me that I was worried about, because it was already, okay, I got to meet my needs through this. How am I going to bring on someone else?
Somebody else.
By the time I brought on someone else, the growth, the practice grew. And so I always tell people, never be afraid to do that. When you get to a point where it's too much for you to do it, definitely bring somebody on, even if it's a part-time. I started with a part-time, and since then I don't have less than 4 people working in my office at any given time. It's just a requirement, because you put a lot of pressure on yourself when you try to do it all.
That's right.
I feel the same way. Bree knows how I feel. I'm like, we are specialists. We should come in and do our specialty, and that's it. And everybody has to do all the other BS. I don't even know how to fax, if I'm being honest.
I don't know how to e-file.
I don't know how to e-file either. I got no clue.
And I know how to e-file. I don't, you know what?
I have
fax.
Right.
I barely just learned how to scan, y'all. Like I don't do that kind of stuff. And then, you know, my kids look at me like I'm an idiot. Like, how do you not know how to fax or email or whatever it is? It's like, because I don't do it. I don't have to.
I'm not gonna do it. It'll wait until she gets back before it gets e-filed.
Before it gets e-filed.
Exactly. Like, we just, like, if she's out on vacation, we're just not e-filing that week. Like, that's how that works.
Nobody is getting withdrawn from this week.
Not this week. You lucked out.
That is funny, y'all. Well, I will say this. I know that I've, you know, I'm on a lot of different Facebook groups for lawyers. And I know, you know, there'll be some new lawyers that'll come on and be like, you know, what do you, you know, what's the first thing that I should do? You know, I'm a newbie and whatever. And it's like a split. Some people are saying, you know, keep your overhead low, do it yourself type thing for now until you grow. And then some people are like, off top, get somebody to answer the phones. I will say this, I have been all in through all of those phases, right? To where I have answered my own phone. I've gotten people to answer my phone. Then the Rona hit and I wasn't, you know, I was cutting off, I was cutting fat everywhere. So I was like, nope, I'll answer the phone, you know. And then that got to me. So I was like, nope, not gonna answer the phone no more. And so it just depends. I say, me personally, I feel like I couldn't come up with my own process unless I answer the phone. So now that I've answered the phone, I know how I want to answer it. And so I was able to write out a process and systemization, right? So when I brought somebody on to be my client intake coordinator, now I'm like, this is how I want it, you know? And for me, that helped me. But I just think you should my advice for newbies would just be like, just do where your money is comfortable, you know, what you doing. Like, you ain't got to compete with everybody else and do what everybody else is doing. Just do whatever, you know, wherever you're comfortable at and wherever you can afford, do that, you know?
Absolutely. And Bree, to piggyback, what we present on social media is what we strategically present on social media. Okay. And so while we all trying to fit in with the Joneses is over there struggling too. So, you know, stop that. That would be my first word of advice. You know, there are big name firms out there and we all strive to look like that. And we all strive for our practices to get there. But also know that that big firm has their backdoor dealings that they're dealing with, you know, that we don't get to see. We're not on social media. But then also with what you said, you can't train a receptionist if you've never done the job, right? And so I was the receptionist, I was the intake coordinator, I was the administrative assistant, I was the associate, I closed out the cases, but I have a policy in place where I can say, this is what I want, not because of what I saw someone else do, but because this is what I've seen myself, and this is how I want my firm to operate. And so don't be afraid to be the receptionist too, but also know when it's time to give that over to somebody else.
That part. Lauren's over there covering her face. Lauren, you want to talk about it?
I didn't do that way. So when I was in law school, my son was 3, and I learned that I got to choose my battles, right? There's only a certain amount of things that I'm going to give a shit about.
Sure.
Like his toys being everywhere is not one of them. Him not running in the street is definitely one of them, right? So it's a balance. So like, I don't care ultimately how things are done as long as they're done right and on time, like well and on time, right? So I've always just had my staff create the process. I say, y'all are the ones who have to do this shit. I'm not, right? I'm not the one who's sitting here answering these phone calls, talking to people or doing any of that. So you tell me what you want to do. Here's what I want. here's my end result. You tell me how you're going to get to that result. And I have no problem doing that. Like, I love building processes, but I don't necessarily need to do the work to know. I know what my end result is. So I'd rather the people who do the work tell me how to get there. Right. That's just me personally. I'm also the type of person, like, if I can delegate it, I will. 100% of the time. If I can delegate it, I will. Full stop. So I wanted to ask you, Crystal, about you've decided to run for judge. You obviously have a successful practice. You have 4 employees. You know, that sounds very much like your practice is like mine, but more mature. So I would assume even more successful than mine. Isn't going to be a judge, there's 2 questions. Isn't that, 1, a giant pay cut? And B, what will you do with your firm?
Yes, it is going to be a significant pay cut. Okay. And when considering this position, it wasn't, I'm about to go set myself up. Like, we about to be good. It was not that. It was, I need to provide a service. And the best way for me to do it beyond my practice is to seek this position as a district judge. I believe that there's so much more that I can offer than what's currently there. And no slight to anybody. I just feel like that's where I am right now in my career. Okay. And so as far as my practice goes, I have to sell it. I mean, it has been built as a commodity. I mean, I can sell it, and I would have to. I wouldn't be able to maintain it. So anybody looking for practice,
hire like an associate to run it for you?
I wouldn't be able to have any connections with it.
Right.
Okay.
I don't want to win for judge when I run, y'all, and that is why, because my firm is like my 3rd child, and I hardly leave my children with babysitters. Okay, so if I'm not leaving this firm with some stranger or something, you know, and so that to me, Crystal, is my biggest fear. But I love what you're saying. You created, and your light seems to have dimmed, but you created a commodity, and so because you are truly a public servant, you are going to do this public service, but go ahead and sell the commodity to help support you do that. I love that. So it looks like she's coming back. We lost her maybe.
Okay. I'm back. We just had a second issue. We lost our powers. I don't know what's going on.
You lost the power in your house?
We lost it. The whole neighborhood is out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Too soon. It's too soon. Yesterday was I can't. If the power goes out, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I am a princess and I like electricity.
Yes, and my little Zoom lights went out and everything. So now I'm a little darker than what I was trying to be, but
it's still fabulous. So, we've reached the point in our show where we give ourselves plugs. So Crystal, you get to go first. And I want you, of course, to tell everyone about your judgeship that you're running for.
Please.
You got to pay the bills until that judgeship. So tell us about your firm too. All right, go.
Yeah, so I will start with the firm. So it's the law office of Crystal Gayden. I am a family law attorney in Fort Worth. So we handle divorces, child support, modifications to your divorce decree, modifications to a previous order, terminations, adoptions, all of those family law matters, we handle those. You can follow me on Law Office of Crystal Gayden on Facebook and Instagram. And of course, like we started off saying, I'm also running for family court judge. You can also follow us on all social media platforms. It's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Crystal for Judge, CRYSTAL for Judge. And we're definitely trying to build our following so we can get more exposure. So if you're on Facebook, if you're on Instagram, please go ahead and like the page. And after you like it, share it. We all have family members, uncles, aunts, cousins, sisters, brothers, grandmothers who are on some form of social media. So definitely like the page, follow the pages, and share the pages as well. And thank you, ladies.
that the
Word.
voters of Tarrant County need to think about what they just heard you say. You said you have a successful practice that you are going to sell so that you can serve the people of Tarrant County so they can have representation that looks like them. And to me, I don't know if the voters and constituents understand what a huge sacrifice that is and how selfless that makes you, but I hope they're hearing this and that they do, because that is incredibly selfless. You are the kind of people we need running
Absolutely.
for everything. Okay,
Yes.
that's what we need running this country at every government position. So thank you, Crystal. All right, your turn, Bree. I'm off the soap.
You're off the soapbox. Thank you. Thank you. No, Crystal, I appreciate you for taking the time out to come and be a guest on this show. I really appreciate it. It's amazing finally being able to talk to you outside of Facebook.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate you for taking that time out. And everybody, y'all make sure if you're in Tarrant County, you go vote for Crystal. You said it's going to be in 2022, correct?
In 2022, but you got plenty of time to like, share, and get involved.
That's right. So y'all make sure y'all like all of her social media platforms. And y'all, for those of you guys who have been watching, I am Bree. You know me. Hi. Thank you guys for tuning in yet again this week. I am the owner of the Bethancourt Law Firm. I can be found on Facebook at the Bethancourt Law Firm. I can also be found on Instagram at Issa Lawyer. It's ISSA_lawyer. It's not Isa Lawyer. It's Issa Lawyer. Just want to clarify that. And so follow me on Instagram. And then if you want to contact me, I provide legal services in entertainment law, trademarks and copyright, LLC formation, small business contracts, and family law. So I can be reached at 1-833-4-BREE-LAW. That's 1-833-4-BRI law. Okay. Look forward to talking to all of you guys. And Lack, I pass it on to you.
So I am so excited to know you, Crystal, and I'm going to follow up with you after this so we can talk about our pre-conversation.
Yes, ma'am.
I run Cadilac Law.
What pre-conversation?
I told you we're now best friends. I told you. You said you weren't worried about it. Okay.
I ain't worried about it.
All right, so I'm with Cadillac Law, CADILAC. All of our handles on social media, CADILACLAW. I have a YouTube channel full of content about probate, real estate related businesses. I mean, Bree does business, I do business, but most of the people I serve touch real estate somehow. So I'm your real estate girl. Cadillac Law is 972-845-1200. We are Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. I am trying to expand to Fort Worth, and that was part of our conversation that Crystal and I are having. And we are currently based in Oak Cliff. I do believe in a life of service, just like Crystal. However, I like money also. So my service goes so far, and then I got to make sure that I'm feeding my kids. So I am like so excited that you're running. I have another friend named Vonda who's running for judge out here. Maybe she'll join us. Do you know Vonda, Crystal?
That's my girl. Shout out to Vonda Bailey. Yes. Please bring her on.
We do need to bring Vonda. Vonda, if you're still watching, you are going to have to come on and join us. And then next week we are having someone. Oh, is it Nakia Cleaver? Bree, do you know how to say?
Nika Cleaver.
Yeah, Nika Cleaver is going to be joining us next week. So, as always, thank you everyone for joining us on Signature Block. Thank you, Crystal. Everyone vote Crystal Gayden in Tarrant County in March of 2022. I know it's a year, but now you got time to tell your friends. So,
Right.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you all again next week. Bye.